Okay, so the first thing what I want to ask you is there any questions? Before I start something on what would be the questions? Anusha, you have anything to ask?
Mm, I can ask Karu. Karu, do you have any questions?
Yes, Karu can ask. In whatever English you can ask Karu, don't worry.
Paṭiccasamuppāda and Paṭiccasamuppanna. What's the real meaning of that?
Okay, very good question. Paṭiccasamuppāda is the Ida Pachayata. And Paṭiccasamuppanna is how it arises. When one thing is there, how that thing arises, and that one thing is not there when it doesn't arise. So it talks about two links out of the 12 links, any two links is Paṭiccasamuppanna, because Paticca means bonding and Sama Utpanna means arising. It Sama means equal, Utpanna means to produce. So it produces based upon bonding with A bonds with B. If A is bonding with B, then it creates a condition for that to arise. And when it arises, it shows seven qualities. The first quality is anicchata. Second quality it will show is the sankata. Third quality it is going to show is the paticcasamuppanna. Fourth quality it is going to show is the khayadhamma. Fifth quality is going to show is the vayadhamma. The sixth quality is going to show is the viraga dhamma. The seventh quality is going to show is the nirodha dhamma. So that means all things which are conditioned are going to be showing either one or the seven of them. Even if it shows one, it is paticcasamuppanna. That means in two links between the birth, decay, and death. If we were to take this link formula, or the not link formula, it is the 12 link what we have in that birth as one condition, and the death, decay, and death as another condition. They both are sankata because they are condition based. The so-called I is living till that condition matches. If the condition is not matching, then I'm called as a sick person because the disease have taken over, or there is some vyadi. And how I was 10 years ago, how I was 20 years ago, how I was 30 years ago, if I were to take a snapshot of each one of them, a photograph of each one of them, and were to play around with it, I can see how it has moved. So the conditions have changed, they have matured. So that kind of movement, which is showing Khaya Dhamma there, Kshaya in Sanskrit, Khaya in Pali. Why? Why is to go away. Nirodha, cease to exist. So my 10-year back face to the body, to everything we could see, not only this body, anything we see, that is gone forever. Nirodha Dhamma, like that. So Kaya Dhamma, Vaya Dhamma, Viraga Dhamma. When the hair falls down, it doesn't have any raga to stick with me. It just falls. This Viraga Dhamma. Each Dhamma, when we say emotions, experiences, the physical structure, can be anything from urine to feces to skin, nails, eyes to ears to nose to whatever we have. Whatever I consider as mine, they don't have any raga. I have raga to hold it, but they don't have raga to hold. They will just perish. As the time comes, the cells will die. They will not ask my permission. You have served me so much, or I have served you so much. These people are asking me to die. Die. 120 days is the time it takes for the red blood cells to die. They're programmed to die. At 120th day, brain will send an impulse saying that now you die. So from that the protein is removed and dies. Each of these dhamma has virag and cease to exist, nirodha. To that are the three things. One is this anicchata. We covered this. No matter how much I wish it should be like this, or uppada vayatena anicca. As it arises, so it perishes. Nobody can do anything. It's like a water on a river. The river is flowing. No matter how much I stop it, it flows. The day and the night, same thing. How much I try to stop the day break from remaining, night not happening, but the earth is circling, so it will automatically turn itself into night. That is the dhammata. So this body also behaves in the dhammata. And when it follows dhammata, it is Paṭiccasamuppannā. That means that existence is based upon till these two factors are functioning. One of them will not exist, the other one will not exist. So, Sankata Paṭiccasamuppannā, then Khaidhamma, Vaidhamma, Viragadhamma, Nirodhamma. What is the Paṭiccasamuppannā as per Samyukta Nikaya 12.20? So the most important sutta for us to experience on Paṭiccasamuppāda and Paṭiccasamuppannā. So we covered on Paṭiccasamuppannā. Now what is Paṭiccasamuppāda? Paṭiccasamuppāda in simple words is ida paccayata. This being, this comes to be. That's all. Not the dwelling. Yadidam. Only when. Like this. I am narrating ida paccayata in this way. In what way? Avidya paccaya sankhara, sankhara paccaya vinyana, vinyana paccaya namarupa. Like that, the 12-link formula is narrated to cover up ida paccayata. This being, this comes to be. This not being, this will not arise. If birth is a condition, this comes to be. What comes to be? Death comes to be. If there is no birth, there is no death. If there is no bhava, then there is no jati. Like that. Now we might ask, then what's the difference between ida paccayata and Paṭiccasamuppannā? Paṭiccasamuppannā is for the link, a single place holder. Let's say I want to look at the jati. What is jati? So I can look at these 7 things. But what if I want to see the entire cycle, how it works? Then I have to come to ida paccayata. So what is my experiential reality? My experiential reality is Paṭiccasamuppannā. Meaning, when I start on Buddha Dhamma, what I will be introduced to as an experience, it is Paṭiccasamuppannā. Through Paṭiccasamuppannā, you will experience Paṭiccasamuppāda. And hence in the Mahārāhulovādasutta Sutta, Buddha says, don't tell like this Ananda that you have understood Paṭiccasamuppāda. Why? Because he is a Sotapanna. He says that, Bhagava, I have understood Paṭiccasamuppāda. I feel so happy I have understood it. And Buddha says, no, Ananda, don't make that kind of comment. You don't know Paṭiccasamuppāda. What he knows is a Paṭiccasamuppannā, not Paṭiccasamuppāda. Shall I proceed further then? Okay, now there is this question. The question is all about or why we are doing this in the first place. With Mahārāhulovādasutta, why? It covers 4 sections here. The first section is, if you have seen, it talks about the 5 aggregates. Then the second section talks about what is in 5 aggregates, especially the rupa. The third section talks about the Paṭiccasamuppāda with relation to Paṭiccasamuppanna, and then the 4 noble truths. So if we take Mahārāhulovādasutta, it covers what all you should know from a Sotapanna point of view, or a Sakadagami or Anagami, or even an Arhat point of view. That is what one needs to know. And it covers Anapanasati. How should you develop Anapanasati? That gives us even more clarity on whether I should watch the breath, I should watch the sensation, or what should I be doing. Slightly to add to that, we need to know what are the 5 aggregates. So this is, if you go to the Anattalakkana-sutta, it is 22.59. If you come some suttas back, you will get into the Sattaṭṭhānasutta. I will tell you that reference. 1 second. Sattaṭṭhānasutta. This is 22.57. Just 2 suttas before the Anattalakkana-sutta. This sutta is very important. If we don't get this sutta, then we can definitely understand we are yet to reach Sotapatti Phala. I might be an Anugami, but I am yet to reach Sotapanna. It's a very clear sutta. 22.56 is the previous sutta, that is also a very good one. And 22.57, this one what we are talking about, is the appropriate sutta to understand, have I crossed Sotapanna? Not that how will I become Sotapanna. This sutta is not for that.
MN 62, there is no mention of Paṭiccasamuppāda or Paṭiccasamuppannā.
It is implicit there. So that's the reason I'm bringing all of these suttas.
It is.
Okay, see now when he talks about the Atita Anagata Pachupanna, Atita Anagata and Ajjatta Bahiddava, he Polarika Sukumava. So if you look at the Khanda Sutta, then he talks about that. Then you should have known what is Rupa. What is Rupasa Samudaya? What is Rupasa Attangamo? Then only this helps a lot. So assumption made is that he knows. Who knows? Rahula knows. Now Rahula don't seem to have understood what it is. So he brings him into a different way where he doesn't have to worry about the Paṭiccasamuppāda, Paṭiccasamuppanna, 4 noble truths or whatever. But without that, can you still achieve of the mindset of Rahula? He is having virya. Okay? He is having saddha. He is not able to establish samadhi. His sati is not established. So sati is having a problem. Samadhi is having a problem, and hence no panya. But he has virya and saddha. How should I come to know? when Rahula was introduced to Dhamma, Rahula was keen to leave his mother aside and join the Buddha. That shows that his willingness to understand the Dhamma. So that helps. Then he has Saddha in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Right? That is evident. So basically, in this sutta, especially, presuming or giving the benefit to Rahula that he has faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, experiential faith. That means aveccha pasada is experiential, not just theoretical, not just bookish knowledge, not just listening the desana or listening the discourses or whatever it is. It has clicked, aha moment or wow moment or whatever it can be called as. That has clicked in the person. So if it is clicked in that person, he becomes a aveccha pasada. That means he has got what should be got by Buddha Dhamma Sangha. Yep. Now his sila is good. So the fourth one for becoming a Sotapanna. There are many suttas, including Parinibbana Sutta, where Buddha says you should have faith in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha and you should have good sila. Now, when we say faith, it is experiential faith, not just believing that Buddha is great and his Dhamma is good and the Sangha is good and all that. That's not what we're talking about. Aveccha pasada. What is this aveccha pasada experience? Now, Sotapanna means the one who has come to the stream by listening to something. You first listen. And even it is a video, you listen. You see the person, but you're listening. That means you're attentive to what is being said. So the sati is established to an extent that it can penetrate. Now we have seen four kinds of individual. Ugatitanyu is a person where a single liner, that is one example. Yam kinchi samudaya dhammam sabbam tam nirodha dhammam. That's it. Nothing more to teach him. Done. He will understand everything about it. Okay. Then the second one is the Vipachitanyu. Vipachitanyu is one who requires brief information. So if I again go to Anguttara Nikaya or some other Nikaya and I take Mulaka Sutta, a very brief one but very profound one. Now I go and tell him, Kim Mulaka Avuso Sabbe Dhamma, Kim Sambhava Sabbe Dhamma, Kim Kim Samudaya Sabbe Dhamma, Kim Samosarana Sabbe Dhamma, Kim Pamukha Sabbe Dhamma, Kim Adipataya Sabbe Dhamma, like that. And then he answers me, or he reads the book or the sutta. He says, and it says, Chanda Mulaka Avuso Sabbe Dhamma. Once that is said, it clicks to him. Chanda, Chandam Janeti, Vayamati, Viryam Aravati. This is what is required in the energy. So, Iddipada, it clicks that person. Now he knows the interest has to be there. So he leaves everything aside and goes in front to pick up that. It can have both Yoniso Manasikara and Ayoniso Manasikara. But he clicks. This is Vipachitanyu. But when it comes to Neya, this much is not going to help it. It's impossible for that person to get hang of what it is. This person requires discourses, desana. So Sotapanna in this approach is a person who requires a desana or a discourse or some Kalyana Mitra coming to him and explaining him the Dhamma to the level he can take it, but he will be able to penetrate. If he is a Neya. Neya means a person who requires support system. There is a support system that is required. And the fourth one is a Padaparam. No matter how much Dhamma you speak in front of him, he understands intellectually, but there is no experiential reality. Aveccha pasada is not there. He has everything. He loves the he loves the Dhamma. He loves the Sangha. He prays, he worships, he goes, does everything what is required. He will put flowers, he will put incense, he will do what is required. He will also do the Poya day and this day and that day and donating, all that he will do. Except for Aveccha Pasad, he is able to do everything. Now he will go and listen to hundreds of desana. That is also there is an effort. But what is missing out of the five indriyas? Panya is missing, Adi is missing, Sati is missing, Saddha is Andasaddha. That's not the right Saddha. Only Virya is good. What he can do is to continue doing what he is doing, and the next life or whenever that karma ends, he will get the click. He'll become Anugami before death, or he will be reborn as an Anugami, even which way it is beneficial. That means say that he will be reborn as a human and continue as an Anugami, and it clicks to him and he becomes a Sotapanna. So, how should I know what I am? Is dependent on these four. Again, it becomes Sankata conditions. The first condition, am I Ukatitanyu? If yes, Ye Dhamma Nalam Abhinivesaya. In English or whatever language, it doesn't matter. He will understand. Or Yam Kinchi Samudaya Dhammam Sabbam Tam Nirodha Dhammam. Or third one, beautiful one, I love this. Yes. Yena hi manyanti tato tam hoti anyatha. Yes, Sachin, you wanted to say something. Okay. So this is the third one, which is really interesting to me because it clicked when I was looking at it, and the second one also clicked, but it was not as proficient as the third one when I was contemplating on yena hi manyati tato tam hotis anyatha. So the anyatha bhavi, I picked it up. How it happens. This is for Ukatitanyu. Then Vipachitanyu, one sutta what I said about the Mulaka Sutta or any other sutta or any other beautiful sutta, Hena Pindupama Sutta. It comes with Upama, example. And what is that? He will get clicked. Hena Pindupamam Rupam Vedana Bubulupama Marichupamancha Sanya Sankhara Kadalupama Maya Upamancha Vinyanam Desita Ditta Bandhuna. That is sufficient for a Vipachitan. No need for giving that example. Stand in front of the Ganges and you can see the foam and all that. It's this four liners. Sufficient. Another one is there, which had helped me. This is Nelango Seta Pachado Ekaro Vattati Rato Anigham Passa Ayantam Chinda Sotam Abandhananti. 4 lines. These 4 lines. It really gave me a goosebumps for the whole day. These 4. Nelango Seta Pachado Ekaro Vattati Rato Anigham passa ayantam chinna sotam abandhananti. This is in the Chitta Vagga, in the this about Chitta, the householder. I was wondering, can a person really get anagami, become anagami with a householder? And this sutta clicked it, made it so strong that I can be an anagami with being a householder. So a bhikkhu comes and asks Chitta, who is a householder, saying that Buddha had once uttered this. Can you explain in brief what this means? So he says this: Nelango setapachado ekaro vattati rato anegham passa ayantam chinna sotam abandhananti. This is for vipachitanyu. If that cannot click, meaning it's not about Pali. If I can tell you in English, but if it doesn't click, then we know that it is Neya. We had automatically bring ourselves to the support system, Neya. In that Kalyana Sevana Neya, Kalyana Seva Neya, and Dhamma Sevana Neya. In Sri Lanka, majority of the thing is about Dhamma Sevana. So they do the Dhamma Desana. It's perfect because that helps in somebody getting the click by listening to the Desana. And also you require Kalyana Mitra to help you. So again, they believe a lot in Kalyana Mitra. So this is about Ney. So now the question comes: have I become a Sotapanna? Do I know I'm a Sotapanna? One. Second, after Sotapanna, what? Two things have to be answered. Now I'm a Sotapanna. What next? So this Mahārāhulovādasutta, along with the Sattaṭṭhānasutta, is going to be beneficial because that tells me whether how far Sattaṭṭhānasutta, that is going to really open up for me in terms of understanding what is five aggregates, because that is what the Sakkaya Ditti will go. If I understand the Upadana not being there. Okay. So let's cover this. So he talks about 7 cases. So what he says, you understand what is form, what is feeling, what is perception, what is sankhara, preparation, and what is consciousness. First you understand what it is. Don't worry about udaya and vyaya, arising and passing away. That you forget. First understand only these. Is what is rupa. When rupa is said, what it means. When vedana is said, what it means. Sanya is said, what it means. Sankhara and vinya. First thing is that. Then their origination. How does it arise to be? How does it appear? And when they appear, it takes time, it takes space. That is how that 11 things are. And when they pass away, time is gone because they don't exist any longer now, departed. And it's not occupying any space. So this body were to be burnt out. And that's it. There's nothing like this person is going around this room or that room or whatever it is. Okay. And now this body is taking space in a particular time. So we can say Atita, he was there as a child or as an adult or as a teenager or something. Nama Rupa can be talked about. Anagata, he will be like this in the future. Now this is how he is in the present. So let's go and understand. So now he says what is a form. Now his explanation is beautiful. He says just these four elements or dhatus quality. The same thing he opens up in the Mahārāhulovādasutta, but let's understand. If I can penetrate Patavi Dhatu or Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayu Dhatu, any one of these dhatus or all the dhatus, at least one of them, I will come to know how they originate. What's the point of origination? Ekam kim sabbe satta aharatika. What is one? All sattva or satta or beings are nourished by food. Food come from where? Plant. Where does a plant grow? The mud. That's it. No need to go downwards. Mud has nutrients. Nutrients is taken by the plant. Plant is eaten away by the humans, animals, or whatever we have. Birds, insects, take whatever. All satta, sabbe satta, aharatika. So, origination of this body is food. If I can penetrate it, I've got two things now. What is rupa? What is rupasya samudaya? This I got it. So, ahara samudaya, rupa samudaya. So now how does hunger happen? Exhaustion of Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu in a particular space, Akasa. So the stomach which was having the food is removed, so the space increases. When the space increases, tremor starts, and when the tremor starts, brain is able to make out that is empty. Fuel is empty. So I need to either have water or I need to have Kabalinka Ahara, Ulariko Sukumo, or this water, which is also part of Ahara. So Ahara Samudayo, Rupa Samudayo. Ahara Nirodho, Rupa Nirodho. So till it exhausts, it seems to be out of the four states, Upachaya, Santati. Seems to be in Santati. But it starts to get exhausted, which is Jarata or Jiranata. No matter how much I say I shouldn't be feeling hungry, a few hours, hunger comes back. That is Anicchata. The four characteristics of a Rupa. Pachaya, integration. Then Santati seems like stable. Taken food, you can run, you can do whatever you want. Everything looks good. Jiranata or Jarata, decay, gets utilized. Same thing with plants. Keep on watering. Then they keep on growing. If there is no water, they die. So, the Pachayata can be seen. This sutta talks about the Pachayata in the background and this in the foreground, because Samudayo, Nirodho is part of Paṭiccasamuppāda cycle. This is Loma, Nirodho is Anuloma. Right? So first we understood what is Rupa, what is Rupasa Samudayo, and Rupasa Nirodho. Now he says another one. Rupa Nirodha Ghamini Patipada. This is a funny thing. Now, if somebody thinks that for becoming an anagami, you require Samma Samadhi comes in the last and not at Sotapanna, then he will not be able to understand the sutta at all. So the thing what should be understood is, even in this you can see the Ariyo Attangiko Maggo. How? Samadhitti. What is Samadhitti of food? Ahara Samudayo, Rupa Samudayo. Ahara Nirodho, Rupa Nirodho. Samadhitti. Where it is covered? It's covered in Samadhitti Sutta by Sariputta. And he says, what is Ahara? 4 Ahara. Kabalinka Ahara, Mulariko Sukum, Assa Dutiyo, Mano Sanchetana Tatiyam, Vijnana Ahara Chatuttam. In this particular case, it is only the Rupa, not the other thing. Only this Ahara, Rupa Ahara. Now what is Samadhiti I need to use? Food eaten, body coming. Food not eaten, body coming. I used to have 3 meals a day some time ago. I stopped eating 3 meals. Automatically it became 2 meals a day. And from 2 meals a day, it has come to 1 meal a day. Now the body is shrunken. Not I have shrunken. Ahara Samudayo, Rupa Samudayo. That is Samadhitti. What is Samma Sankappo? Samma Sankappo is 3. Abhyapada Sankappo, Avihimsa Sankappo, Nekkhamma Sankappo. First I will build a Nekkhamma Sankappa. How do? I get into Paccavekkhana. Why you need to have Ahara? I need to have Ahara for sustenance. Na Madaya, na Mandanaya, na Vibhushanaya. Only to maintain this body, not for entertainment, not for enjoyment, not for religion. That is Samma Sankappo. Samma Vacha. I will say if I am hungry, I am hungry. If I am not hungry, I am not hungry. Samma Kammanto. I know that I need to procure food. I need to earn for living. So I can't beg these days. I can't go to house and say, give me food. I will earn for a living. Buy whatever needs to be bought. Whatever is nutrients required for this body to sustain or becoming brahmacharya, that is arhat. So I will eat. That is Samma Kammanto. Now, for this Kamma, there is an Ajiva. That is Samma Ajiva, the livelihood. I will not do something which will bring demerit. I will do something which will bring only merits. So I will earn legitimately to eat legitimately. Samma Vayama. If I get greed ideas about food, I will cut them off and bring Paccavekkhana all the time. Sati. That's the next one. Samma Sati. Samma Sati is to understand why I am eating food. Sustain this body. I get into Samadhi. How the Samadhi is got? Savitakka. That is, my mind is filled with why I am eating food. That doesn't bring in greed. That is, raga, dvesha, moha will not get occupied in the mind. So So, Savitakkasavichara. Piti. I am joyful. Why? Because Ragadvesha Moha are not coming and I am eating food. Then Sukha. I am neither too high, it had so much of meals, nor I am too deprived. Enough meals, which will make me feel very light and get into meditation. Whatever meditation, doesn't matter. Meditation. Then Ekagata. This is how I can establish Arya Attangiko Maggo. So, Ahara, how to eat it is Rupa Nirodhagamini Paṭicca.
But how the Rupa cessation has happened?
Ahara Nirodha, Rupa Nirodha. Now you have to
You
understand.
are not stopping the eating. Right?
No, you are not stopping the eating. You have stopped eating for enjoyment. So you will have no greed at all and no expectation how the food should be. Any
But
food is okay.
Rupa is still there. Body is still there.
Yes, that's for sustenance. You can't cut the Rupa.
So where is the cessation? Which cessation of Rupa?
Which cessation of Rupa means? Ahara Nirodha, Rupa Nirodha. You asking about that or you asking about the Paṭiccasamuppannā?
See, Rupa Nirodha Gamini Patipada.
Correct.
When he says, so Rup, see, let's say first step, second step, 7 step ke baad bhi, even after 7 step, Rup Nirodha kab, when it happened?
Now, Rupa Nirodha, what do you understand by Rupa Nirodha?
I was understanding that through meditation, when you are penetrating into Rupa by breaking it into element, 4 elements, there is no more Rupa. And if you continue this meditative state, that these are just Patvi Dhatu, this is just Vayu Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, there is nothing called Rupa, just Dhatu. Rupa Nirodha happened.
Right. So now your Ahara Nirodha. Ahara is that Kabalinka and the Sukuma with the contact. With the Mano Sanchetana Ahara, where you are dreaming about how the food should be. And there is no Vinyana. What is Nirodha?
Okay, so that much Nirodha has happened. Lot more to do, but to an extent.
Yes.
At least this much you got rid of.
Yes. So
Main
now what
part,
happens here is that if I were to reflect, so the food is given to me, I brought it in the plate and I put my hand into it. Before it touches the tongue, I should have a Paccavekkhana. I miss it, gone. First Paccavekkhana is Pindapata. That I should know it. Na Madaya, na Mandanaya, na Vibhushanaya, like that. Now I am fit to eat. So I feel grateful, gratitude, whatever it is, eating. To quench my hunger. Because it is a disease. Hunger is a disease. Hunger is not something to be enjoyed. A dart, it is a boil, it is a dukkha, actually. It's a worst dukkha. You can get anything in life, but if you are hungry, nothing you can do. And if you are thirsty, again, nothing you can do. You might have $1 million or 1 million rupees or whatever it is. But if you don't have water, at that moment, nothing can be done. So, observing this, I eat and I drink. Now, what happens? Ahara gets nirodha. That is, I am eating like Putta Mamsa Sutta. Basically. So now there is no Mano Sanchetana Ahara. There is no intention in the mind that I need, let's say, Chinese dishes, continental dishes, this dish, that dish, Indian, Sri Lankan, Mexican, American, nothing like that. So the Nirodha happens. So we understood what is Rupa, what is Rupasa Samudaya, what is the Rupasa Atthangamo, then Four Noble Truths. Any questions from anybody? Okay, now he covers very important aspect. Asada. The new one. 3. Now he covers another 4 more. Or covered 4 and 3 more. However you take it. Asada. Asada means savoring it, enjoying it, enjoyment. Asada is basically about aswada, relishing. What is Rupa's relishing point? What is its pinnacle? If at all we were to call that as a pinnacle, what is the pinnacle of the Rupa? The pinnacle of the Rupa is the Paṭiccasamuppāda sukham so manasam ayam rupasa asad. Two things are happening. One, you get a bodily pleasure, sukha. Now this is where I wanted to cover something from Ayurveda, that is because Buddha has a Buddha along with the Moggallana, then there is another two.
Jivaka.
Jivaka, yes, he has, but there are many other bhikkhus who have contributed extensively to Ayurveda. I just wanted to bring that up here. One of the key thing about understanding asada is when you don't have vata, pitta, pitta, vata, pitta, pitta, kapha, kapha, pitta, like that combinations. Okay. You don't have any one of those combinations. It means vata, pitta, kapha is sama, equal. So those people who don't know about it will become difficult, but I guess they know what is vata. It is air, pitta is the bile, and kapha is the phlegm. These 3 constituents make 7 dhatus, and these 7 dhatus start with the rasa and ends with shukra. So this is how this body composition is. Especially it is good for this sutta in terms of sukha. When the vata does not hold any places in the joints anywhere from head to toe, and the pitta doesn't burn, meaning it doesn't burn the blood, and kapha doesn't accumulate in the chest from the diaphragm, it comes up, sticks. If it happens, then you will have kayaka vedana, which is painful because of the vata. It expands. So the nerves will start to press, or this vata starts pressing the nerve center. It presses the nerve center, you have a painful sensation. And when it touches, if there was only vata, it would have been better. But it is also having heat. And in English, it is called as inflammation. Inflamed. So whenever the modern medicine talks about inflammation, what it means is that with the vata increasing, tejo, burning that. So the itis which they put in the end, sinusitis, that itis means inflammation. That portion is inflamed, it is hot. When it is hot, vata will fill up the whole surface area. it will get stuck like this. So it's painful. So any source sense that you feel, that kind of pain comes when it is expanded. The nerve will press. So there is dukkha. Whereas if it is perfectly working with vata, pitta, kapha, and the 7 dhatus, starting with rasa dhatu, rakta dhatu, meda dhatu, majja dhatu, like that, till shukra dhatu, if the energy is moving seamlessly without any issues, you get sukha. And hence there is nothing called as neutral feeling in the kayaka. Because it can be only expansion, contraction. Because of the 4 dhatus, mahabhuta. Now, if there is no kayika vedana, painful, that is dukkha, but is sukha, you immediately forget this body. And hence so manasa happens. Mind forgets this body. It's just like you're on a flight going on a 37,000 feet. You're on autopilot. Now you can enjoy. You don't have to worry about landing and taking off unless a turbulence comes or something comes. In the same way, the mind can go on autopilot mode. It doesn't feel anything. So 99% of the time, unless we are sick, there is no kayika dukkha vedana. So the asada or asvada or relishing is the only thing you will enjoy. That is asada. Now we will come to adinava. Now in this adinava, we need to understand 3 things. Anicchato, dukkhato, viparinama, dhammato. Anicca, I always want it pleasurable, but it is sometimes painful, sometimes not pleasurable at all. Meaning, even though I don't have real pain, but there is some heaviness, there is some stiffness, like that. So when I have those kind of things, then it's anicchata. Because it cannot maintain the same state, like the plane going at 37,000 feet cannot maintain the same state. It will eventually has to come down for turbulence, for whatever reason. But that's the truth. And it is dukkha. Because you can't maintain. And because these two are there, it is viparinama dhammato. Means parinama is predicted, as predicted, working as desired, working to the full extent, full throttle. Viparinama is, it can stop without notice. It can come to an end without notice. It can change its course without notice. Work unexpectedly is viparinama. Working as expected, as desired, as it should be is parinama. It is viparinama. Now this is the thing what he says. And he says in the end here, those ascetics and Brahmins who have directly known form this way and its origin, its cessation and practice leads to cessation, its gratification, drawback and escape, and are practicing for disillusionment, dispassion, cessation regarding form, they are practicing well. So what he says is that this you did not have to come through Buddha Dhamma only. You have got through any other source. Yeah, as long as you are doing this, it's fine. So it doesn't mean that only this way I have to do it. No. What I have to do is I have to understand the form, I have to understand the samudaya of the form, I have to understand the nirodha of the form, nirodha gamini of the form, then the asada, relishing, adinava, danger, escape, nissarana. Sarana is to round about, turning around. Nissarana is cutting the turn. How do I cut the turn? Chandaraga vinayo, chandaraga pahanam. Chanda is interest, raga is coloring it. Chandaraga vinayo. Vinaya is discrimination. Putting it into practice, discipline. So discrimination brings in practice which will be disciplining it. So what's the discipline? The discipline is what is rupa, what is rupasa samudaya, what is rupasa atthangamo, nirodho, and then the Noble Eightfold Path. With that, the rupa is cut. What happens then? When I'm eating just for sustaining the body. What happens to the Vedana? I were to practice this. Neutral Vedana. Not Sukha Vedana, not Dukkha Vedana. Come into the middle path. This Adukha Asukha Vedana. Then the bond of what? Upadana is cut. The Rupa Upadana Khanda is cut. But there is no relishing. Because I've seen the danger. Now, same thing I'm going to do for Vedana. So, Vedana has three characters. Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, all the three have Phassa as their basic ground to work on contact. So, if I am following breath, touching, and I'm watching the touch, what it means? Phassa Samudaya, Vedana Samudaya. So I'm watching the breath. Forget the breath. I will watch the dhatu. I will watch Patavi dhatu. Okay. I'll watch Apo dhatu. Okay. I'll watch Teju dhatu. Vayo dhatu. Akasa dhatu. Vijnana dhatu. 6 dhatus. I can choose whichever dhatu I want. I can work out. So now if I have understood Buddha Dhamma, become a Sotapanna, now it can help me to penetrate. If this is not a penetrable thing, what should I do? There is one answer to it. The answer to it is I have to go to Vijja Charana Sampanno. Like what he did to not the Vachagutta, it is another person. Comes and asks the Buddha. And he gives him samatha, says that take this and go. Once you are done, you come back, I will teach you vipassana. Yes.
This Rupa Nirodho, in Tripitaka, it is difficult to understand in which context Rupa is. In this context, he's talking Rupa is this body, right? My body. And in some context, Rupa becomes the visible object. And particularly the same confusion goes with Nama Rupa. Mostly Nama Rupa means this Nama Rupa, but also even this is a Nama Rupa. So how do you, out of context, we have to make this sense?
Okay. Now, good question. In the Sanyukta Nikaya series, what we are talking about, majorly it is about understanding the Atta Bhava.
Okay.
And
so this,
it's all about Atta Bhava because these two suttas beyond is Anatta Lakkana Sutta. 22.59. We are in 5.7. One thing we need to understand. After the Dhammacakka Pavattana Sutta with those 5 ascetics, his friends, his erstwhile friends, he spoke to them about Anatta Lakkana Sutta. And then they turned Sotapanna. That we shouldn't forget. So what is there in that? He talks about 5 khandas and what else? he talks about the Four Noble Truths also. True, Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Dhammacakkappavattana spoke about Four Noble Truths. Anattalakkana Sutta brought them to understanding what is Rupa, what is Vedana, what is Sanya, what is Sankhara, what is Vijnana, and how you cannot change the way Rupa is, the Vedana is, the Sanya is, Sankhara, because you're supposed to be a witness. You're not supposed to be changing anything out there. You're been witnessing it. That's it. So he started with Anatta Lakkana. The Lakkana is Anatta. Nothing you can do about it. It's Lakkana itself. And because it is Anatta, it's Anicca also. Since you can't claim it as yours, how can you now change something to your liking? It's not possible. So Anicca. Or not as per one's choice, wish, whatever we want to keep. And both will bring in dukkha. This five senses and includes the body also has come. Not because I desired it to be so. Because of the birth. So jati pi dukkha, jara pi dukkha, all that picks up. Dukkha. Then you get a dukkha samudaya, dukkha samudaya, dukkha nirodha paticca. So in this context, if we were to see, we talk about this kind. In another context, if we were to see, when we say Ajjatta Bahidda Polarika Sukuma, then we have to take the Rupa Rupa, Shabda Rupa, Gandha Rupa, Rasa Rupa, Pattabha Rupa, all that. Then when you come to the Nama Rupa with Vijnana Pachya Nama Rupa, then you have to do that five. Asa, Vedana, Sanya, Chetana, Manasikara. That is how we have to do the context switching.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So, when I am doing samatha and vipassana, Anupassanā, three things. When I am doing samatha, I need to cut the savitakkas or vitakka vichara so that I can get the piti. That's the starting point, because then only the avikhepa is not there, or vikshepa, distractedness is not there. Otherwise, mind after some time will get distracted, go somewhere. So if I'm using breath as an object, or using dhatu as an object, or I'm using anything as an object, whatever I like to take it as an object, for 15-20 minutes to half an hour or 1 hour, we need to look at that. Allow the mind to cool down. Amisa sukha, but it is required, not niramisa sukha, but worth it, because there is relaxation. Now when I have done that, what next I can do is take this sutta and reflect. You will get it. If at that moment the satta is gone, that's it. The sakkha ditti is gone. Meaning you will be able to see nothing in this world can get you the same experience again. You can store the experience and compare, but you will not get the same experience again. Only it is conditioned. Condition is there, seems to be working. Condition is not there, it doesn't work. As a Sotapanna, I have penetrated into Paṭiccasamuppāda and I have understood Paṭiccasamuppannā. And I have understood the Noble Eightfold Path, the dukkha, samudaya, all that. Fine. Now, I will skip these sections because this you can read it and you can understand. But I would like to take another last part. 3 things. Three ways. Last. Katancha bhikkave bhikkhu tividu parikhi hoti. 3 things, remember. First, he talks about dhatu. Dhatuso upaparikhati, ayatanaso upaparikhati, paticcasamuppādaso upaparikhati. The same one, he will do it in 3 ways. First one, the dhatu, what we are talking about. Patavi dhatu, apo dhatu, tejo dhatu, vayo dhatu. Then 6 ayatana, salayatana. Why? Vedana is coming in the ayatana. They are not coming in the dhatu, coming in the ayatana. Third one, Paṭiccasamuppāda. Why? Samudaya Nirodha. Now, if you are able to penetrate all the 3 of them without a flaw, just read this in English or whatever language you want to take that as Sinhala, whatever. Independently, you are able to penetrate into it. You can congratulate yourself that you are moved from Sotapanna in the stream. So what he says, Uttama Puriso iti uchati. Sattaṭṭhāni kusulo bhikkave bhikkhu ti vidhu paparikhi imasmim dhamma vinaye kevali. Kevali means kaivalya, getting rid.
I think we discussed this sutta together sometime.
Yes, some time ago we had done it. I'm doing it again.
And you said 7 into 3, right? This 7 in this 3 way.
Yes, this 7 in 3 ways.
So 21 way that I asked you.
Yes. So first time you do to the dhatu way, these 7. Asada adinava nissarana with rupa, rupasa samudayo, rupasa nirodho, nirodha gamini patipada 4 plus 3 asada adinava nissarana. Using dhatu, using salayatana and Paṭiccasamuppāda. So nobody asked me any question. I thought today we'll do a Q&A. Sachin, you have asked a lot of questions.
Ariyu is not there, no, otherwise.
You would have asked a lot of questions. Yeah, I know that. Anusha, you have any questions? Yes.
You were talking, this is not directly related to the sutta that we are discussing though, but I remember you mentioning about Buddha being a great Ayurvedic.
Correct.
So just wanted to inquire about that.
Yes, so there are books in Ayurveda where Buddha has contributed a lot, and there is a Ayurvedic sage by name Bhagavata. He has written a lot about Buddha. He starts his sloka with Buddha. Yes.
Yeah, in fact, there is a proof also. Actually, there are 4 Vedas. But if you read Tripitaka, they are talking about only 3 Vedas.
Correct.
Not this Vinay 3 Veda, but Brahman also were having only 3 Vedas at that time.
Correct.
That means there was no Ayurveda at the time of Buddha, that is proven.
So In the context of Ayu, he talks about Ayu in many places in the suttas. In fact, it is there in the Mahārāhulovādasutta Sutta. Ayu, Ayu Usma. These are the two terms which is used by Buddha. And to ensure that the Vata Pitta Kapha, which is Vata Samuttana Abada, Pitta Samuttana Abada, then Simma Samuttana Abada. He has done lot of research and he has provided medicinal herbs which can cure the Vata Pitta Kapha issues. Because that is related to Raga Dvesha Moha. So what is on the body, Vata Pitta Kapha? On the mental side of it, it is Raga Dvesha Moha. They are interlinked. So if the Raga is reduced, the Pitta gets, if the Raga is reduced, the Vata will get reduced. If the Pitta gets reduced, the Dvesha gets reduced, the Pitta gets reduced. And the Moha get reduced, and the Kapha get reduced. Vata Pitta Kapha is there in every food you eat.
Yeah, and that's why, because of this 3 years of meditation, my body become healthy.
Correct.
Lot of pain in body, not only body. The bone was paining, that pain is also gone.
Correct. Because the Raga Dvesha Moha also reduces along with the food not being relished.
Is this the reason why one gets body pains in the initial stages of meditation, where your vapit and the kapha gets
Yes, absolutely.
irritated?
So what
And then
happens here is that when you are doing a formal sitting meditation, when you are doing cross-legged, there is inflammation, meaning pitta. Pitta will get disturbed. When pitta get disturbed, it will disturb the vata. So the vata job is to expand. So it starts to expand. As it expands, there is a burning sensation and numbness. And when it is numbness, the kapha takes over. So there is a difference between the vata, pitta, kapha. So they all start going in different direction. So the only way it can show up is contracts. So there, when it expands, it starts contracting because it can't grow beyond what it can grow. So it starts to come back. So it contracts. So when it contracts, there are 12 or 18 qualities in this dhatus. There is a particular sutta where he talks about all of it, lahuta, mudita, and all that. Okay. Malleability, pliability, and all that. So there is in Vibhanga it is there. I'm not able to offhand tell you all of them, but lahuta and mudita will go away. So this flexibility of the body is gone. It becomes very stiff because of the vata and pitta. So then you have body pain. So whichever part of the body where you have this sitting meditation or whatever you're trying to do, when it gets heated up, it pains. So basically, you have to do two things. Either you have to reduce the raga and dvesha. So first thing that comes up with pain is dvesha because you don't want it. So the dvesha will come. So you should keep on watching that pain. That means the dvesha will come and go away. This is one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is that consider it as a boil or a dart or something like that and extend your leg for brief 1 minute and you can feel the blood supply going. So the pain is gone because the inflamed area is cooled out. So the what we can say, the body pliability, that is mudita and lahuta, they are kept in order. So for what Buddha says is that for those people who can't sit and meditate, you can walk and meditate. So he says in the Paṭiccasamuppāda Sutta, He says walking meditation is the best one. It helps your health. You don't have to sit. Keep on walking.
In fact, in Chinese meditation and all, these 4 postures are related to 4 dhatu only.
Right.
Walking is to something, sitting is to something, and
Yeah,
standing is to
they
something.
have kept it like that because of the TCM. I mean, because of the traditional Chinese medicine, they have kept it that way. But it need not be that way. But that's a Chinese way of looking. Okay, so this is what I wanted to cover today on the Samatha portion, Vipassana portion, and the Anupassanā is 7. If you got till here, is 7. In this same sutta, when you are doing that 7 into 3, there are 7 things which happens to you automatically without you working out. First thing you will get experience is anicca, or rather you would have started from anatta. So you will have experience of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then after that nibbidha happens. Disillusionment. Nibbidha. Viraga happens. The mind withdraws from any one of these. So the paccayata is experience. So that viraga happens. Then nirodha happens. Cessation. Nibbana is defined as patinissagga. Pati is bonding. Nissagga is removal, cutting of that bond. So now you are no longer bound by what you were binding. Yes.
So this 7 thing happens in the context of this experience, right? Not complete nibbana, not complete cessation, not complete.
In whichever you're doing vipassana, you are taken this sutta, this vipassana, you will have that.
Yeah, so you are done with this sutta, you are done with this meditation.
Exactly. You have meditated on the sutta rather than meditating on the body sensation which is there in other tradition. You have taken sutta and you have meditated and you got the benefit of it. So what you did is that you learned, which is pariyatti, you put it in your mind to practice, which is patipatti, and you're getting an experience, that is avicca pasada, which is the experience, that is pativeda.
So that's what Vipassana Nana is said, no? Vipassana.
Right. So we have samatha, vipassana, anupassana, 3 things. Generally, in the vipassana itself is the anupassana. It is part of it. It's not a separate subset or separate independent one. In the vipassana itself, you will experience anupassana because you will penetrate totally. So if I take whatever I take, let's take food. If I am in samatha, the samadhi happens, stillness, and I start reflecting on the ahara in the paccavekkhana. So then ahara samudayo, rupa samudayo is understood. Whatever ahara I am giving is going to build upon that. If I give kabalinka ahara, then this body. If I give phassa ahara, then the vedana will start. Okay? Because with the phassa comes a salaitana, the 6 senses. Then mana sanchetana ahara is the sankhara. So the mano sanchetana ahara has other 5 ahara. Chakku sanchetana, ghana sanchetana, kaya sanchetana, jivha sanchetana, like that. Ghana sanchetana. All these sanchetanas. So mano sanchetana ahara. Then the vinyana ahara. Whatever I am calling that food, if I am calling that a fried rice, the fried rice is experienced. If I am calling that as a pizza, the pizza is experienced. If I am calling this as a Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola is experienced. Instead of the liquid, instead of the solid, I'm experiencing Coca-Cola or Pepsi or a pizza or fried rice or noodles or whatever it can be called as. So you are experiencing nama rupa. So vinyana is nama rupa samudayo, vinyana samudayo, nama rupa nirodho, vinyana nirodho. So we can see how deep you can go, and when you get it, you experience nibbidha instantly. When nibbidha happens, viraga happens. When viraga happens, nirodha happens. When nirodha happens, upasamaya happens. When upasamaya happens, sambodha happens. When sambodha happens, nibbana. First thing we need to get is disillusionment. Get out of fried rice. Get out of pizza. Get out of anything you call that. What it is just to sustain this body.
Old habit patterns are being break.
Yes. So the two ways of doing it. One way of doing it is that you can do endlessly breath watching. It will help, but it will not really help. It will only give you samatha.
And even if it helps, you don't know how it helps.
Yes, even you don't know how it helps. So it only gives you samatha. It's like suppressing the asavas. Okay? You require vipassana. For vipassana or vipassana, to be precise. Passana is to see. Vipassana is to extensively see. To see that, you have to take any of the Dhamma Vishaya. Dhamma Vishaya here is this Salayatana. Or you can take Dhatu, Paṭiccasamuppāda, or the 5 aggregates, what we just now spoke. Then you have done Vipassana or Vipassana. Then that gives you Anupassanā experience. That is Anupassanā. When it comes as Pativedhan. So you get Avicca Pasada. Now, can I do this with Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, and Sila as a Sotapanna, to reach Sotapanna, from Sotapanna Anugami to Sotapanna itself? What I can do? First thing is the doubt. So I need to remove the doubt. Visikiccha. To remove Visikiccha, I need to understand the quality of the Buddha. So if I say iti piso bhagava arham samma sambuddho vidyācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarathi satta deva manusanam buddho bhagava iti. Now I need to know what is Buddha. That is Bhagava. I need to know that. Iti piso bhagava arham. I need to know what is the meaning of arham. Then I need to know samma sambuddha. What is Vidya and what is Charana? Because that is what I need to reflect. So there are 6 Vidyas and 15 Dhammas, Charana Dhamma. The 6 Vidyas are Dibba Sota, Dibba Chakku, and Parachitta Jnana. These are the 3 things. Other than the 3 is Ubbe Nivasati Jnana, that is the past lives. And then Tuti Papata Jnana is how the beings are coming and from this existence to that existence. And finally, Asava Kaya Jnana, the 6 Vidya. And Charana Dhamma, Sila, then Indriya Samvara. Third one is the Bhojana Matyanutta. Fourth one is Jagariyanu Yoga. Fifth one is Saddha. Sixth one is Sati. Seventh one is Bahusaccha. Eighth one is Panya. There's another one I forgot. Then the 4 jhanas, first, second, third, and fourth. That is the Charana Dhamma, which I need to reflect upon. So I need to compare where I am. Let's say I'm breaking Sila. This is Arhat, Arham, and he's Samma Sambuddha. That means he has learnt it on his own. I'm here, he's here. So like in the Anupassanā Sutta, he teaches how you should reflect upon the Arhat and develop here. So you need to create that reflection. So now, Panati Pata Veramani Sikka Padam Samadhiyami. So here is Arhat, he will never do it. Samma Sambuddha has found it out for himself. Now I am convinced that I need to remove this akusala in me. Like that, I need to keep on practicing. So then what happens? Slowly it becomes like this. So from Sotapanna to Sakadagami to Anagami to Arhat. Now we are. That is the how I develop uh, faith in Buddha. And Dhamma is the first one. Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo. It is self-revealing. It just reveals by itself. Like Yo Mam Pasati, so Dhammam Pasati. One who sees me sees the Dhamma. It is self-revealing. Ida Pachayata. So Yo Dhammam Pasati, so Paṭiccasamuppādam Pasati. That means you have penetrated into the Ida Pachayata. So when I have penetrated into Ida Pachayata, like this sutta, what he's talking about, Sotapanna is guaranteed because the Sakkaya Ditti is gone. The Upadana Khanda is gone. Upadana is not there, Khandas are there. Now you know it is Rupa Khanda, Vedana Khanda, Sanya Khanda, Sankhara Khanda, Vijnana Khanda, but not Rupa Upadana Khanda, Vedana Upadana Khanda. That is the boil. That is in the Jhana Sutta, he says that this is a boil, this is a dart, this is a disease, this is a dukkha, Upadana Khanda. So in that way, I can develop my Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So I am done. What shall we do? All good. क्या करूं?
සෝතාපන්න අරිය කිසීලේ සමන්නාගතෝ පරාමට්ටේ සමාධි සංවත්තති. what do you mean විලාස්?
Can you say that again?
සෝතාපන්න අරිය ශාවකෝ අරියකාන්ත සීලේ සමන්නාගතෝ අපරාමට්ටේ සමාධි සංවත්තති.
Yes. So what it means is that
what does it mean? අපරාමට්ටේ සමාධි සංවත්තති. විලාස්.
yeah, what it means is that his sila, he has come on the Arya sila. Arya sila means is that it is something where he has penetrated on the sila and he cannot break it. Meaning there are two kinds of sila, meaning each one of these have a minor and the major. Depends on a householder and it also depends on whether he is a bhikkhu or samanera. So let's say I am a householder. There are minor sila breaking. There is major sila breaking. Even in a bhikkhu, there is a minor and major. So he would not break the major sila, not be broken at all. So when a person is a Sotapanna, no major of the sila is broken. Like he will not kill his parents, as an example, or he will not injure a Buddha, or kill a Buddha, or kill an Arhat, like that. He will not do any one of those actions which will get into the Anantariya Papakam. That will go away. So that does not mean that he will not tell lie, he will not steal, he will not have this Kameshu Michachara and all that. He will not have the major ones. Now, what is a minor and a major? There is a sutta which talks about minor and major and all that. So any of the major ones which will give him a rebirth in the apayas are gone forever. That's the reason there is no Anantariya Papakam also. Like in the case of Ajata Shatru or Ajata Sattu, in the Samanapala at the end, Buddha says that had he not killed his father, by now he would have penetrated everything. Killed his father, so he has to get into the Anantariya Papa. So there is no, what I can say, the there is no space between two. It will connect. So the next life he is into the apayas, even though he had the Buddha Dhamma knowledge. So as a Sotapanna, he wouldn't do any one of these. That's what that meaning, what you said. Arya Kanta Sila is that Sila which is followed by the Arya. And in the Anupassanā he talks about what is the Arya Sila completely. You have seen that. It is in Anguttara Nikaya 3.70. You go through the sutta, you will find out. You show him to a doctor. Now my son has got fever.
But he is a doctor.
Doctor also can get fever, right? So anyway, then let me go and attend to them. And we'll meet tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Karu, I will take the further of your question tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Servants are nice. Nama
Everyone's
Buddhaya.
happy.